But Abram said unto Sarai, Behold, thy maid is in thy hand, do to her as it pleaseth thee. And when Sarai dealt hardly with her, she fled from her face. Genesis 16:6. When Abram says, Behold, thy maid is in thy hand, he is pointing to the very power you wield in consciousness, your own imagination placed at the disposal of self-limitation. Sarai, the self that knows only denial, treats that power harshly. She doubts its fruitfulness, beats it with impatience, and the creative impulse, the maid, takes flight. Hagar flees because she is an abandoned promise, a desire conceived yet not nurtured by faith. Behind this little drama lies the great pattern. Your conscious I is Abram, ever ready to entrust the maid the seed of your wish to Sarai's hands. Sarai, tempted by reason and fear, thinks she must drive the promise into action by force. Instead, she bruises it with disbelief, and so the promise vanishes into the wilderness of your own mind. But notice, the wilderness too is within. When doubts crowd in, Hagar finds refuge in that barren place inside you. She sits by the spring of discouragement, convinced there is no hope. Yet even this alienation is part of the pattern. The moment you recognize the flight of your promise as your own doing, you can turn and reclaim her. The teaching here is simple. Refuse to treat your imagination harshly. Believe that the maid you have conceived is in your loving hands. Speak to her gently, sustain her with the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Do not chastise the promise for not yet appearing. Rather, abide in the certainty that it already lives within you. In that sacred calm, Hagar will return fruitful, exalted, singing her new song in your soul. Within you unfolds a subtle inner drama in which three distinct presences quietly reveal themselves. First comes Abram, your God awareness, the silent witness that observes every thought and feeling without judgment. Then appears Sarai, your conscious, intentional self, the creative center through which you shape your reality by choice. Finally, Hagar steps forward, carrying the reactive, wounded part of your psyche, a repository for every fear, insecurity, and long-held compulsion. When Sarai treats Hagar harshly, it reflects our familiar habit of pressing uncomfortable feelings out of sight. Yet no fear or compulsion truly vanishes through repression. It only slips beneath the surface of awareness and continues to influence your life from the shadows until it is tenderly acknowledged and released. Abram's assurance, thy maid is in thy hand, reveals the creative principle. Your attention, Sarai, directs your inner states, Hagar. If you starve a feeling of its rightful place, it escapes conscious control and insists on expression through unwanted outer events. But when Sarai holds Hagar gently with understanding instead of force, the energy reorganizes itself in service of your chosen vision. In other words, how you relate to every inner feeling seeds your outer world. This text shows that divine power is simply your innate ability to govern inner states. You are both the relaxed witness, Abram, and the deliberate thinker, Sarai, and through your handling of reactive impulses, Hagar, you sculpt reality. No feeling is too wild once you learn to embrace, redirect, and align it with your deepest intention. Begin by noticing the persistent negative impulse within you, that inner Hagar stirring with uneasy energy. Allow yourself to acknowledge this presence without shame, feeling its story unfold while resisting any urge to judge. Then, stepping into the consciousness of Sarai, consciously choose a new, higher outcome that truly reflects the desire of your heart. Invite the scene that fulfills this longing into your imagination, holding it with genuine feeling, as though it is already real. Whenever Hagar stirs again, gently return her to the scene you have envisioned, placing her lovingly within the context of your fulfilled desire. Over time, you will discover that this once rebellious state stops fleeing and instead powers your creations. In this way, you come to understand that every suppressed part of you simply yearns for wise direction, and that through your conscious imagination, you stand as its divine guide.